I can still see some people joining, but in the interests of time and to reward all of you who came early, we will begin now. So Bismillah, alhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah. Assalamu alaikum, and a warm welcome to each and every one of you from whatever country you're joining from, whatever organization or cause you're here to represent. My name is Adil and I'm part of the LaunchGood team. I'm based in the UK, but we've got teams all around the world. And so what will we be talking about today? Many of you, in fact, all of you would have heard of Giving Tuesday from our invites or anywhere else on the internet. It is a phenomenal day, fantastic day, global day of giving. But today you're going to find out how you can benefit from taking part in Giving Tuesday on LaunchGood. And we won't just talk about that. One of my colleagues will be joining and sharing some tips that you can use during your campaign or on Giving Tuesday to give you the best chance to win. And he'll be sharing examples and tips and strategies. So inshallah, if you can stay for the whole webinar, you'll be able to receive the most benefit. It's not too late for anyone else to join, so please do share the invite with your contacts, and we can also send out the recordings after today, inshallah. So you've heard about Giving Tuesday. What about LaunchGood? LaunchGood is a donation-based crowdfunding platform for the global Muslim community of over 1.8 billion people. We've fundamentally changed how the world thinks about Muslims, and we've become the world's largest faith-rooted or faith-based crowdfunding platform. And that is a huge thanks ultimately to Allah, but also to every single person that set up a campaign on LaunchGood, or one of the many hundreds of thousands, almost 1 million donors that we've had supporting causes from China to America. And of course, whatever country you're from, we want to hear that. So please do drop in the comments or in the chat box where you're from, what organization you're from, and what you're looking forward to as well. In the few years that we've been around, we've raised over $263 million, and we've been recognized and provided with awards from the Ethical Finance Innovation Organization, and also we've received the Islamic Economy Awards. We've been featured on multiple news channels and news outlets in various countries from the Middle East, the US, and the UK. And so Giving Tuesday, many of you, especially my friends in the United States, will be thinking of Thanksgiving, and then thinking of shopping on Black Friday, and then Cyber Monday. So after all of that expenditure, there's something that could feed the soul. They might feed their tummies with the Thanksgiving meal, but Tuesday or Giving Tuesday is an opportunity to give to those around them. Fantastic causes all around the globe that will make our souls feel better rather than just our tummies. So Giving Tuesday is a new day of charity following Thanksgiving that raises $500 million plus per year, every single Giving Tuesday, for charities and causes all around the world. And today you'll find out why LaunchGood is the best place for your Giving Tuesday campaign. And obviously we've combined our fantastic prizes and daily contests, which we'll be talking about later on in the webinar. But for those of you that have used LaunchGood before through Ramadan or Dhul Hijjah, you've seen all the different ways we try and incentivize giving and fundraising on the platform. So not only can you reach your fundraising goals, but you can exceed them and do more than what you initially thought possible. And that's the LaunchGood effect. So if we look back at last year on Giving Tuesday, almost 12 months ago, we had over 23,000 people, almost 24,000 individuals around the world donating to different causes on LaunchGood for over 470 different campaigns, 474 exactly. And in that day, or in that whole scheme, we raised over $1 million, $1.234785 million. That was just last year. And this year, we're looking to beat every single one of those numbers on those screen. So with your support, we're looking to have more donors, raise more funds, and have more campaigns. And there are multiple ways that you can do that. The first way that you can win these boosts is taking part in our Leaderboard Contest. Now, during Giving Tuesday, so a 24-hour contest, we have 2 parallel contests or competitions that are taking place. One is for any live campaign on the website that raises the highest amount of funds. And the other contest is for the campaign that has the most number of supporters. So it doesn't matter how much money that's raised, it matters how many people are giving to that cause in the 24 hours. And we've got a number of prizes that are in front of your screen now. First place on either one of those leaderboards receives a donation boost of $20,000. added to your campaign. Second place is $10,000, and the prizes go all the way down to 10th place, where you can win $500. That's for having the most funds raised during that day or the most number of supporters. Now, a key question is, what time does this start? And now, many of you who have taken part in our Ramadan, Dhul Hijjah, Rasul Week contest may have started at midnight UK time. However, this contest for Giving Tuesday will be starting at midnight Eastern time, which is 5 a.m. in the UK, and will run until 5 a.m. the next day. 24 hours from midnight Eastern time or 5 a.m. UK time. So make sure you note that down. And if you're in a different country outside of the US and UK, make sure you do the calculations right. So you're promoting your campaign during the contest window. Right. But that's not it. We've got a whole host of other boosts you can win, and I'll explain them in front of me now. Number one, we also have a number of matched funds. So different ways you can win a boost of $500. And that is, as it says there, the first 15 campaigns to reach 50 supporters, that's individuals, separate individuals that donate to your campaign. The first 15 to get 50 of those people will receive a boost of $500. And now we move on to the wildcard giveaways. Any campaign on the website that has more than 10 unique donors will be entered into a draw to win an additional $250. And of course, we have our famous power hours. We have 2 very special hours across this 24-hour contest period where we'll have mini or micro contests. So a 1-hour contest for most supporters and a 1-hour contest for most raised. Now, the most supporters contest or power hour will take place on 1 p.m. Eastern time, which is 6 p.m. GMT, which is UK time. And of course, the most raised power hour will take place at 8 p.m. Eastern time, which is 1 a.m. in the UK Greenwich Mean Time. Now, the winner of either of those power hours will win a boost of $5,000. Now, remember, guys, we've got the leaderboard contest, but that doesn't stop you from winning and receiving any of these boosts. So on top of wherever you finish on the leaderboards, you can win additional boosts through the match funds, through the wildcards, and through the power hours. So a whole host of different ways. And essentially, it's about 2 things: raising the most amount of funds and getting the most number of people to donate to your page. And if you're asking more people, you'll raise more funds. And if you do that throughout the day, you're in with a chance of being one of the first to reach their 50 supporters. You'll have your 10 donors. You'll probably be taking part during one of the power hours. And ultimately, you'll be vying for a place on the leaderboard. So the key message here is, if you start from the beginning, from 12 midnight Eastern time or 5 a.m. UK time, and work for the 24 hours straight, you could be winning a whole host of different prizes, not just the $20,000 up for grabs on the leaderboard, but any one of these in front of you now. So those are the contest rules. A couple more things to note. When we talk about the most supporters, we mean individual people, separate people in your networks or in your organizations or across your social circles. That means one person can't donate multiple times. The donations will go through, but it will only count as one unique supporter. And on top of that, we also have filtered out ways of different people using the same emails or the same bank cards. So please, please, please play fair so everyone can enjoy. Make sure it's individual people all donating to your page. Now, the second piece is really important. Only donations made directly through your page link will count towards the contest. That means if someone finds your page through the leaderboard or through the homepage or through any of the marketing options some of you may have, those donations will not count towards the leaderboard. They have to come through your direct link. If you don't know what your direct link is, it's the URL of your page, and under the enhanced section, you'll see the short link, which you may have set. And that's the link you need to share far and wide. And it's those donations that will count towards the leaderboard. So remember those 2 golden rules. And shortly, I'll be passing it over to my colleague Tahmid, who will give you some golden tips and advice from our years of experience of running these contests as to how to have the best chance to win some of these prizes. So over to you, Tahmid.
Hey, Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Thank you, Brother Adil, for that great introduction and also going through exactly what we have going on Giving Tuesday. Alhamdulillah, really, really happy to see so many people in this call and inshallah getting ready and prepared to win some of that $100,000 prize that we're giving away November the 30th this year. So let's go on to some top tips for your campaigns. So teamwork makes a dream work. Now, this is something we always tell every single charity we work with or individuals, that building a team is always far more beneficial and you will have a lot more success than if you want to do it alone. So, if I asked any one of you here to go and get 100 donors, it would be tough, right? No matter how much experience you have, how big your network is, getting 100 people to donate is no small feat. However, if I said, do you know 10 people that can help you? That is something that is far more achievable. And, if you're a charity, what you want to do is you want to use 10 volunteers or 10 staff. And I'm just using the number 10. The more, the merrier here, really. If you can get 20, 30, 40, even 50 people on board, that'd be great. So you build a 10, let's say, as a baseline, and you ask those 10 friends, volunteers, staff, family, whoever they are, can they get 10 others? So you're sharing the, let's say, I don't want to use the word burden, but it's sharing the workload, and 10 people can get 10 others. And it's not very hard. For instance, myself, I could probably get my mom to donate, my dad, my uncle, my cousin, just within my own local family and friends. Getting 10 people to donate isn't too much of a challenge. And yeah, if each of those 10 just give £10 and you get your 10 people, that's £1,000 raised. Forget any prizes. And this is the one thing I always tell CCs and I always tell charities and organizations is use the prize as incentives, but you will hopefully raise far more money yourself just by using it as an incentive. So yeah, teamwork really does make a dream work. You have 2 weeks from now to go build the biggest team you can in terms of volunteers, family, and friends. The second one, content is key. Now, we all love sending messages out, especially on group chats and broadcast lists, but let's try and get a little creative. We've seen before in the past how building posters, videos, maybe even TikToks, funny videos, you can get a lot more engagement and attention on the day if you can get some of your content to become more viral. And I've heard it all the time from volunteers. They love having that content, that image, the video that they can share with their family and friends. And, you have plenty of time now to go to your design team, etc., and make those posters, make those videos ready for Giving Tuesday. And yeah, content is key. Phone trees, so good old-fashioned phone calls. Unfortunately, as times move on, we seem to be less and less interactive with our peers, our family and friends. Everything's on WhatsApp these days, everything's via text message. We really don't like calling people up. However, if there was one thing that I want you to take away from these tips, it's the fact that phone calls are the best and most effective way to get donations. And it is also probably the toughest. Some of us are scared to pick up the phone. We may feel like we haven't spoken to someone in a while. It's time consuming. It's very easy to send one broadcast message out, one click, and boom, you've reached out to 100 people. Phone calls, you have to actually put some time in it. But by far, this is the most successful thing. And if there was, like I said, one thing you should do on that day, maybe set aside an hour here or half an hour there or 45 minutes there and just get through as many phone calls as you can. If you have a workspace or if you have an office, then get your volunteers in and do it together. Maybe bring some pizza in, make it a fun vibe, fun experience and energy. And watching other people do it will also give motivation to someone else to pick up the phone and call someone up. Because once you've got someone on the phone and you bring up, look, I'm taking part in a contest today, can you support me? It's very hard for that person to say no, regardless of what your cause is. So yes, phone trees, most effective method. Your network is your net worth. So this is in terms of leveraging your network of your contacts. Go through your contact list. Even if there is someone that you haven't spoken to in a while, remember, this is something you are calling people for good here. You're not asking someone to do something bad. This is, you're asking them to give charity or to get someone to give charity. This will be hopefully on their rewards pile on the day of Jannah. Just keep that in mind. Do not feel guilty. Do not feel nervous, and reach out to as many networks as you can. There's one thing reaching out to the same network of people, but if you know people from different stages of your life, this may be school days, college days, uni days, work days, ex-work colleagues, the mosque, the community, youth clubs, any network you have, just reach out to them and try and get them to then reach out to some others. If you don't ask, you don't get. So this is one thing that a lot of fundraisers or volunteers, they feel shy. They're not sure how to cope with, let's say, rejection. It's a very common thing that what if someone says no to me? This is a very real fear. And I'm sure there are some in this call even that don't like the idea of rejection. But like I said, if you do not ask, you do not get. You would be surprised how many times, even I've had personal fundraisers before, and I've just reached out to people. And honestly, I thought they wouldn't donate. But alhamdulillah, some of them donated in the hundreds. Bearing in mind, these are people I haven't spoken to. That's another thing on me, really. And it was a wake-up call for me to maintain certain relationships and make sure you have time for as many people as you can. But at the same time, take that risk. If you don't ask, you don't get. The worst someone can say is no. But you will be surprised how often people will end up donating, and it could also be the start of reigniting that friendship and that relationship. Follow-up game. So one thing we do great, and this is not just Giving Tuesday, with any type of charity work, is we are amazing with communication and reaching out to people when we need the money. The one thing that we always seem to lack on is once we have that money, going back and saying thanks. And that is very, very crucial. If someone has donated to your campaign, make sure you say thank you to them. Make sure you give them updates whenever you can on how their money has been used, where their money is going. And also just on a networking level, do not make it that the next time you speak to them is in Ramadan, when you have another fundraiser and you want to reach out to them to donate again. Think of this as you're probably going to reach out to contacts now that when you see the last messages, it was probably in Dhul Hijjah time or Rasul week, or the last time you needed money. Think of that as a lesson so that next time you reach out to them, it's not Ramadan. Just say hello whenever you can, maintain those ties. The follow-up game is very, very crucial. Sharing or caring, or is it? So don't fall into the trap of only sharing your fundraiser on social media. Now, we're not saying that you should never share it on social media, but use it as a means to reach out to the masses, but it's not the only ways. What a lot of volunteers or friends or family, what they think is effective is really not effective. Sending broadcast messages out or sending messages in group chats, 99% of the time they will be ignored. We all do it. People are fed up of it. They won't read it. They'll skim over it, maybe be like, I'll donate later. They'll completely forget. It's not personal and it's not important. However, I'm not saying completely discount it, but when the phone calls, the personal messages, when all of that is done, then you can share on social media as well. And one thing I like personally sharing on social media is I like giving updates in terms of targets. So for instance, if I'm £500 away, I might put a post on my social media saying, I'm £500 away. I need 10 people to give £50 each, or 50 people to give £10 each. And then I'll work my way down. So when that 500 becomes 250, I'll post another target. And then people really, really do respond to that. So that's one thing you can use social media for that I think is very effective. And finally, make sure you ask your personal contacts. People will donate because you ask them and they relate to you as a person. It's not necessarily the cause. If I reach out to my dad, or if I ask my mom or my cousin or Adil here sitting next to me, if I say to them, look, I have this campaign, I need you to donate wherever you can, and it may help me win $20,000 for my campaign, no one is going to say no to that, right? They're all going to donate. They don't even know or will care what the cause is, where the money is going. That's how close personal friends work. So what I would say is start your day by reaching out to these people. Make a list perhaps on a spreadsheet somewhere, or even just on your notes, that these are my top 10 that I'm going to reach out first thing in the morning, and they're going to donate without asking too many questions, or they're going to be the easy low-hanging donors. So that way the ball is rolling, and then you'll see a domino effect hopefully throughout the day. And once someone a bit further away comes into a campaign, sees that 50 people have already donated, then they'll be more prone to donating. And just one last point here, you want to start your days off early. You heard what Adil said earlier with the match funds. The first 15 altogether, but 7 in the UK. And I know this is an international call. It's 8 in North America, 7 in the UK. The first of those that get 50 guarantee themselves $500 boost, and you can then go on to win more, right? So really make the most of that morning. Get those personal contacts to donate first. Make sure you yourself donate first as well. And I believe that's it in terms of the top tips. I'll pass it back over to Brother Adil. I hope you found that useful. Assalamu alaikum.
Jazakallah khair, Tahmid. Thank you for sharing these top tips. And I hope you've all benefited. But it doesn't end here. It's so important that you get in touch with us directly. Why? So we can make sure your campaign looks good, it's set up, it's live. But we can also provide one-to-one coaching and support and work through your charity's means. Whether you've got 10 volunteers or 100, we can provide bespoke advice or strategy and tips that is tailored to you. And we'll also be able to coach you throughout the day, throughout Giving Tuesday, with updates, tips, and advice, and also a whole host of resources that we have. So my big ask and the big call to action after this call is to get in touch with us. If you're in the UK or Europe, please reach out to us either via my email, adil@launchgood.com, or through any of the WhatsApp groups for any of my colleagues that you're speaking to. If you're from North America, the US, or Canada, you can contact my colleague Mohsin at launchgood.com. And if you're from the Asia Pacific region, Australia, Malaysia, Indonesia, you can contact us at zahida@launchgood.com. We pride ourselves on the personal interaction and coaching that we can give. And the ones that take advantage of that are usually always the ones that receive, the first, second, third places in our leaderboard contest. So just to summarize, the main way to win are through our 2 leaderboard contests, most supporters and most raised. You can only win on one of those leaderboards. So wherever you finished highest, you'll receive that prize. But if you're on the leaderboard, you can still win any one of our wildcards, power hours, or matched funds. And so if you start strong and you work your way through the whole day, you give yourself the best chance of winning something from any one of these 4 ways to win. So that's the key information there. We will have a few minutes for questions. If you have any questions, please drop them in the chat box and either myself or Brother Tahmid can answer. I'm just looking through old messages to see if we've got any questions. We also have some design assets that you can implement into your own graphics and things that you're making, either if they're for social media updates or preparing for the day itself. Just reach out to us and we can provide them to you. We have a question for Tahmid to take.
Yeah, so Brother Amir asks, is there a minimum amount that someone can donate? So the minimum is 1 in any currency. So if you're in the UK, it's £1. If you're in America, North America, it's $1. If you're in the APAC region, if you're in Malaysia, it's like 1 Malaysian ringgit. However, even though that is the minimum, it is something we definitely do not suggest you use in any of your messaging, because this is your opportunity. Forget the prizes, right? This is your opportunity to raise as much money as possible on the day. If you just ask someone, donate any amount, they can donate £5, £10, however much they want. And at the end of the day, if they want to give £1, they'll give £1, right? But if you specifically say donate £1, they will only donate £1, and you will lose out on a lot of money. So yes, whilst £1 in the UK is the minimum, we strongly recommend do not use the messaging £1 anywhere.
And just to follow up on that, Brother Mohsin has shared in the chat, a great thing about LaunchGood, and another reason why you should host your campaigns with us, is we are a 0 fees platform. We do not charge a penny on donations that go into our pockets. We ask donors to top up their donation with a tip, and that's what we use to run the company. However, there is a payment processor fee, which is run by the payment companies that transfer the funds from your bank account to the various accounts and causes that we use. And they charge a small percentage, about 2.9% plus 30 cents on any donation, whether you donate £1 million or £1. But if everyone's giving £1, that 30 cents becomes quite a large proportion. So it's really important that you ask for a lot more than just £1. From our research and testing we've done in previous years, if you have your lowest giving level at £10 or £20 and you ask people to give any amount, instead of just giving £1, your average shoots up 8 or 9x. So ask for any amount. Those that can only give 1 will give 1. But those that you ask, if you're asking them to give £1, Most of them will just give £1. But you ask for any amount, there's a huge proportion, if not the majority, that will give £5, 10, 15, or £20. So it's really important you ask for any amount. Don't sell yourself short, because this is hard work. You're speaking to them, you're asking them. So try and make the most out of each and every opportunity or conversation you have. So remember, LaunchGood is 0 fees, but there is a card processing fee that goes to the payment processors, doesn't come to us. We have some time for a couple more questions. If there are any, feel free to add them to the chat. So just a reminder of the rules. The contest starts at 12 midnight on the 30th of November, Eastern time, which is 5 a.m. UK time, and will last 24 hours. It's a 24-hour contest to raise the most amount of funds or get the most number of supporters.
I think you've done a great job. No one has questions. Brilliant.
So we don't have any other questions. Finally, get in touch with us. Don't leave here and think you know everything about Giving Tuesday, because you do. There's lots of tips, tricks, and strategies that we can share, as well as a whole host of resources to give you the best chance of winning big this Giving Tuesday. So please reach out to us, WhatsApp us, call us, or email us. The details are on your screen. And inshallah, we look forward to speaking to you again. And of course, we're only a message away. We want to support you now, next week, and on the day itself. We love it when UK charities do well. Our colleagues in the US love it when the US do well. Same with our colleagues in APAC. We want to see which region can come top on either leaderboard. So us UK charities, organizations, people, get behind me. Let's see if we can come top. I believe UK and European campaigns have done very well in the past few years. Let's see if we can beat our friends in America, in Malaysia, in Canada, this Giving Tuesday. It started in the US, but it ends in the UK, inshallah. And for those of you who are abroad, take that challenge, work with Brother Mohsin or Sister Zahida or the rest of the team. And inshallah, on Giving Tuesday, we'll all reach our fundraising goals. We'll all win boosts. And inshallah, ultimately, the funds raised and the impact this provides on the ground for whatever cause you're fundraising for, inshallah, that will be a means of goodness and blessing on the Day of Judgment. And we'll be celebrating for real on that day when we need those rewards most. So thank you so much for joining us. Inshallah, we'll hear from you soon and speak to you soon. Take care. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.